Good morning, children. How are you all? Hope you all are taking a good care of yourself. Welcome back to mathematics class. So let us start today's lecture. This is class 10th, subject mathematics, chapter number 6, triangles, lecture number 1. And content I am going to cover from NCERT. Fine, children? Children, today I am going to start with a new chapter, that is chapter number 6 of NCERT, and the name of the chapter is triangles. Children, in this chapter we will be learning about similarity of triangles. As you learnt about congruency of triangles in class 9th, so in class 10th we will be dealing with the similarity of triangles. Fine, children? But before we switch to the similarity of triangles as well as its different criterias, we must be knowing about similar figures and about similar triangles. Fine, children? So, the topics which I am going to cover today, they are: number 1, what do you mean by similar figures and similar triangles? Fine, children? Number 2, we will be learning theorem 6.1 and the name of the theorem is basic proportionality theorem. This is also known as Thales theorem. Fine, children? The third topic will be converse of BPT. BPT is nothing but the short form of basic proportionality theorem. This is theorem number 6.2 in NCERT book. Fine, children? And after that we will be doing some sums based on this above written theorems, these above written theorems from exercise 6.2. Correct, children? So children, our first topic is, what do you mean by similar figures? Two geometrical figures are said to be similar figures if they have same shape but not necessarily the same size. Children, as you learnt in congruency this was the condition that the shape should also be same as well as the size should also be same of two figures. But here in similarity, shape matters. It is not essential that the size should also be same. Means size can be varied. Fine, children? For example, if I am going to take an equilateral triangle of 4 centimeter and another equilateral triangle I am going to take of 5 centimeter. Here I have told you that in similar figure the shape matters. Means in both the cases I am going to deal with equilateral triangle. Okay. The comparison of equilateral triangle is there with another equilateral triangle. No problem whether the size is going to be varied. Means one equilateral is of either 4 centimeter side or another equilateral is of 5 centimeter side. Correct, children? In other words, children, we can say that a shape is said to be similar to the other shape if the ratio of their corresponding sides are equal as well as the corresponding angles are also equal. Fine, children? Just look at this example to understand the concept of similar figures. Here you can see that a shape is said to be similar to the other figure if the ratio of the corresponding sides are equal. For example, this is an equilateral triangle of 5 centimeter each. The length of each and every side is 5 centimeter. And this is another equilateral triangle. The length of each and every side is 2 centimeter. So if I am going to talk about the ratio of the corresponding sides, then what it would be? It would be 5 upon 2 because I have to take the corresponding one. For example, here I have given the name as ABC. Another one I have given the name as PQR. So if AP upon PQ is equal to BC upon QR is equal to AC upon PR, and each and every angle of first figure is equal to each and every angle, means the corresponding angles of the second figure. For example, angle A must be equal to angle P, angle B must be equal to angle Q, angle C must be equal to angle R. means each and every angle of first figure must be equal to the corresponding each and every angle of the second figure. Then in that case we can say that both the figures are similar to each other. So let us talk about the ratio first of all. AB upon PQ is 5 upon 2. BC upon QR is also 5 upon 2. And AC upon PR is also 5 upon 2. So one condition is satisfied, that ratio of their corresponding sides are equal. And let us talk about the second condition. I know that both are equilateral triangle. So each and every angle will be of 60 degree. So as all the three angles of first triangle are equal to the corresponding angles of the second triangle, so we can say that both of them are similar to each other. And this is the sign of similarity. Correct, children? But in congruency, what was the condition? That the length of the side must be equal. The length of each and every side of first triangle must be equal to the length of each and every corresponding side of the another triangle. Here we are not going to deal with the length of the side of the triangle. Here we will be dealing that the ratio must be equal. Correct? Okay. In the same manner, children, can we call both of these squares as similar figures? Of course, we can call them similar. How? Because each and every angle of a square is of 90 degree. In the same manner for smaller triangle, for smaller square as well. Okay. If in square, I have taken for example 4, the length of the side is 4. It will also be 4. This will also be 4. This will also be 4. In the same manner, here I have taken 2. So this will also be 2 centimeter. This will also be 2 centimeter. So this will also be 2 centimeter. So can I say 4 upon 2 is equal to 4 upon 2 is equal to 4 upon 2 is equal to 4 upon 2. So as the ratio of each and every side of first square is equal to the ratio of the corresponding sides of the another square, and each and every angle of first square is equal to the corresponding angles of the other square, so these both figures will also be similar figures. Got it, children? Through this example, I have explained you basically the concept of similar triangles. So let us recall. A triangle is a polygon which is made up of 3 line segments. Fine. It has 3 sides as well as 3 angles. Now 2 triangles are said to be similar if what condition should be satisfied for the similarity of the triangle? Number 1, their corresponding angles must be equal. Corresponding, I hope you may have got the concept of corresponding. As angle A is corresponding to angle P, angle B is corresponding to angle Q, and angle C is corresponding to angle R. Correct, children? And their corresponding sides are proportional. What do you mean by proportional? Means the ratio between the length of the corresponding side must be equal, as I have explained you through the diagram. Correct, children? Now have a look. For example, there are 2 triangles, triangle ABC and another triangle is PQR. Here we have to check whether both the triangles are similar or not. See, children, angle A is in the correspondence with angle P, angle B is the corresponding angle of Q, angle C is the corresponding angle of angle R. So here it is given that angle A is equal to angle P, angle B is equal to angle Q, and angle C is equal to angle R. So condition 1 is satisfied, that the corresponding angles must be equal. Let us talk about the condition number 2. If the ratio of their corresponding sides are equal, means AP upon PQ is equal to BC upon QR is equal to AC upon PR, then also we can say that triangle ABC is similar to triangle PQR, where this is the symbol of similar to. Got it, children? Then let us talk about the converse of similar triangles. For example, you have been given that triangle ABC is similar to triangle PQR. Then automatically, children, these conditions must be satisfied. What are these conditions? That their corresponding angles must be equal and the ratio of their corresponding sides must be equal. Got it, children? So have you understood this concept, children? The condition, both the conditions must be satisfied. Then and only then you can call that the given figures are similar, otherwise not. For example, if you will be having two quadrilaterals given, for example, I have taken one quadrilateral and another one I am going to take a square, okay, and here the length of the sides are given 1.2 centimeter each. It can be a rhombus. Another one I have taken 2.4, okay. I have to check whether both the figures are similar or not. Let us talk about the ratio of the sides, corresponding sides. 1.2 upon 2.4, decimal will be removed, so this would be half, means the ratio of each and every corresponding side I will be getting as half, so ratio is equal. Let us talk about the angle. In square I know each and every angle is of 90 degree, but not possible for the case of rhombus, so it means both the figures will not be similar. Got it? So both the conditions must be satisfied, then and only then two figures will be called similar to each other. Got it? So this was all about similarity. Let us start theorem 6.1, basic proportionality theorem. And what is its short form? That is BPT. And one more name is there for this theorem, that is Thales theorem. So what is the statement of BPT? If a line is drawn parallel to one side of a triangle to intersect the other two sides at distinct points, then the other two sides are divided in the same ratio. This we have to prove. Most of the time this theorem is asked like this in the paper, state and prove BPT. So let us understand. You must be knowing the statement of BPT also. State and prove means you should know the statement also. So there is the diagram. You can see that there is a triangle ABC. A line, this is a line. You can even extend it also. Okay. So a line is parallel to one side of a triangle. Here you can see that DE is parallel to BC. To intersect the other two sides of a triangle at point D as well as E. Correct. These are two distinct points. Distinct means different. Then the other two sides are divided in the same ratio, means I have to prove that AD upon DB must be equal to AE upon EC. Got it? Because I have to prove that other two sides are divided in the same ratio. So what is given in this question? We will be having a triangle given ABC in which DE is parallel to BC, intersecting AB at point D and AC at point E. What we have to prove, children? We have to prove that AD upon DB must be equal to AE upon EC. Got it? Okay. Now one small construction I have done in it. What I am going to do, children? I am going to join BE and CD, as well as I have drawn two perpendicular EF on triangle ADE and DG on triangle ADE. Correct? Okay. So here you can see, join BE and CD and draw EF perpendicular on AB. You can see this EF is perpendicular on AD as well as this is perpendicular on complete AB as well. In the same manner, DG is perpendicular on AE and DG is perpendicular on complete side AC as well. Correct, children? Okay. Now I am going to apply the concept of finding area of triangle when I know that there is a perpendicular as well as base. What is the formula? Correct. That is half into base into height. So have a look, please. I am going to apply area of triangle in this smaller triangle, that is ADE. In case 1, I am going to consider EF as the perpendicular and of course AD will be the base. In case 2, I will be considering DG as the perpendicular and AE will be the base. Fine, children? Okay, just let me know one thing. Name this triangle, please. What kind of triangle is this? Yes, this is obtuse angled triangle, whose one angle is obtuse and other two are acute. Children, always remember one thing. In obtuse triangle, the altitude is drawn outside the triangle while extending the base line. Okay, so this is the altitude. Correct? So AD is altitude on extended BC. This is applicable only in case of obtuse angled triangle. Remember, The same concept I am going to apply over here. So what I am going to do? First of all, I am calculating the area of triangle ADE. What it would be? While taking EF as the perpendicular, it would be half into AD into EF. Have a look. Half into AD into EF. Okay. Now I am going to take this triangle. Please have a look. Triangle BDE. What kind of triangle is this? This is obtuse angled triangle. So I told you in obtuse angled triangle, altitude is outside the triangle. So here again EF will be the altitude for the triangle BDE, which is an obtuse angle triangle. Okay. So it means in that case BD will be the base and of course EF will be the altitude. So now I am going to calculate the area of triangle BDE, that is half into DB into EF. Now EF and EF are going to be cancelled, half and half are going to be cancelled. So children, I have got AD upon DB. Basically, I am going to calculate the ratio of smaller triangle, that is triangle ADE, and the ratio of the area of the area of triangle ADE to area of triangle BDE. Correct? In the same manner, children, now I am going to take another pair for the ratio, that is again ADE, while considering DG as the perpendicular. Now can you guess which one will be the obtuse angled triangle? Correct. This will be DEF. Earlier I took BDE, this part. Now I am taking DEC. DEC, this part. Okay. So let us calculate the area. It will be half into, now base is AE, into DG. Let us check. Half into base is DG and altitude is AE. Okay. Sorry. AE is base and DG is altitude. Look. DG is altitude and AE is base. Fine. Now let us talk about the another triangle. This is again obtuse angled triangle, you can see, children. So where will be the altitude? It will be outside the triangle. So again DG will be the altitude, but what would be the base? Of course EC will be the base, because this is the altitude drawn on EC on extended part. Fine. So again I am going to calculate the ratio of area of both of these triangles. So area of triangle DEC is equal to half into EC into DG. What is DG here? DG is altitude and EC is the baseline. Fine. Now again DG and DG both altitudes are going to be cancelled. Half will also be cancelled. So I have got AE upon EC. Let us consider both the equation as equation 1 as well as equation 2. Now children, do you remember that you learnt a theorem in class 9th that whenever there are two triangles which are on the same base and between the same parallels, then the area of both of those triangles are equal. Fine, children. Here also you can see BDE, this triangle, and DEC, they are on the same base DE and between the same parallel, because DE is parallel to BC. Okay. So we can say that the area of triangle BDE must be equal to DEC. Correct. So now let us have a look what we have to do. Since triangle BDE and triangle DEC stand on the same base DE and between the same parallel lines, that is DE and BC. So area of triangle BDE must be equal to area of triangle DEC. Correct? Fine. So children, here if the area of triangle BDE and area of triangle DEC are equal, then we can say that the ratio of the area of triangle ADE upon area of triangle BDE and the ratio of area of triangle ADE to area of triangle DEC must be equal, because they both are equal. And ADE, they were earlier equal. Okay. So what can we say? That AD upon DB must be equal to AE upon EC. So children, as areas are equal, so what can we say? That AD upon DB is equal to AE upon EC. What is this basically? This is basically that ratio which we wanted to prove. That AD upon DB must be equal to AE upon EC. So hence proved. Got it, children? Okay. One more thing I want to add in it. That is corollary of BPT. What we have to do in corollary of BPT? As children, we have just proved that other two sides, which are basically are intersected by the parallel line at point D as well as E. The ratio of those two sides is equal through BPT. Okay, means we have proved that AD upon DB must be equal to AE upon EC. Now, what is the corollary of BPT? In corollary, children, we have to take this smaller part AD upon this bigger part, that is AB. AD upon AB must be equal to AE upon AC. Fine. Smaller upon bigger we have to take. Or you could take like this also. DB, this smaller part now, upon AB is equal to CE upon AC. This smaller part divided by bigger part and this smaller part divided by bigger part. Means either of the two smaller parts you can take divided by the bigger part also. The complete side of a triangle also. But in BPT, actual BPT, what did we do? When this line, which is parallel to the third side of a triangle, this is going to divide the other two sides at two distinct points, that is D and E, then other two sides are divided in the equal ratio. Means we did that this smaller part AD upon DB is equal to AE upon AC. But what is the corollary? Smaller part upon bigger part is equal to smaller part upon bigger part. Either you take this smaller part of the triangle or you take this smaller part, that is BD of a trapezium. That depends on you. Correct, children? Now I am going to prove BD upon AB is equal to CE upon AC. Means this smaller part divided by complete side and this smaller part divided by complete side. We can prove any, okay, and we can use all also while solving the questions. So children, the result which I got from BPT, that was AD upon DB, that is smaller upon smaller, is equal to AE upon EC. What I am going to do, I am going to add 1 in both, on both the sides. So it would become AD upon DB plus 1 is equal to AE upon EC plus 1. Let us take DB as LCM. So it would become AD plus DB upon DB is equal to AE plus EC upon AC. EC. Okay. Now, this complete AD plus DB is what? This is complete AB. Have a look once. AD plus DB. AD plus DB is complete AB. And AE plus EC is complete AC. Have a look. AE plus EC is AC upon EC. Fine. Now children, I can take its reciprocal also. It would become DB upon AB is equal to EC upon AC. So this is one corollary which I have proved. In the same manner, children, I could prove AD upon AB. This I told you na, for the shorter part. AD upon AB is equal to AE upon AC. I have just proved right now that DB, this shorter part, the below part, divided by the complete AB is equal to EC upon AC. This I have proved. Now I am going to prove the another part of the corollary in which I am proving AD upon AB is equal to AE upon AC. Okay. So what I am going to do for that? Have a look. Again I am using BPT. What is that BPT? That AD upon DB, that is shorter upon shorter, is equal to AE upon EC. Now children, here I am going to take reciprocal first and then I will be adding 1. There in previous part I added 1 first. Look, added 1 first and then I took the reciprocal. Okay. Here I am going to do its reverse. First of all, I have taken reciprocal. It would become DB upon AD. Then I am adding 1 plus 1 is equal to EC upon AE plus 1. Let us take LCM. it would become dB plus AD upon AD is equal to EC plus AE upon EC. So this is what? Complete. That is AB. AB upon AD is equal to EC plus AE will make AC upon AE. So now taking reciprocal once again, I will be getting AD upon AB is equal to AE upon AC. This is smaller part of the smaller triangle. This is complete side of the bigger triangle. Up is equal to again the smaller side divided by the complete side of the triangle. Got it, children? So sometimes while solving the question we have to apply corollary also of BPT. Got it, children? Now let us switch to converse of BPT. What is the statement for converse of BPT? If a line divides any two sides of a triangle in the same ratio, there we were proving that the ratio must be equal. Here we will be having ratio equal given. Then the line must be parallel to the third side. Now we have to prove that that line must be parallel to the third side. There in the main statement of BPT we will be having the line parallel to the third side. And we were going to prove the ratio of the other two sides equal. Here we will be having same ratio given, but we have to prove that the line should be parallel to the third side. Got it, children? Now children, what is given in the converse of BPT, that is basic proportionality theorem. We will be having a triangle given ABC. You can see a line DE intersecting AB at D and AC at E. You can see there is a line. You can even extend it also. Okay. So this is a line DE which is intersecting AB at point D and AC at point E, such that now children we will be having the ratio of other two sides which are going to be intersected by this line that has been given, because we are dealing with the converse of BPT. Okay. So what is given? AD upon DB is equal to AE upon EC. This is given to us. Fine. And we will have to prove that DE is parallel to BC. This we have to prove, which was given in BPT. That we have to prove. Now it's in converse. Okay. Now let us start its proof. In triangle ABC, children, you can see that AD upon DB is equal to AE upon EC is given to us. Okay. So we are going to prove it. How? Let us assume that DE is not parallel to BC. We are assuming it that DE is not parallel to BC. Through contradiction, we are going to prove the converse of BPT. Now, if suppose DE is not parallel to BC, so let us take another side which will be parallel to BC. So I have taken DF parallel to BC. So now draw a line segment, or you can say draw a line which is parallel to BC. Means DF is parallel to BC. Okay. Which intersect AC at point F. Here you can see that DF is going to intersect AC at point F. Now children, if by my assumption I have taken that DF is parallel to BC, then can I apply BPT on it? Of course. So by BPT, if DF is parallel to BC, then AD upon DB must be equal to AF upon FC. Correct? So here I have written, by BPT we get that AD upon DB must be equal to AF upon FC. So let us consider it as equation number 2. And whatever condition we will be having given, that was condition number 1. Okay. Now from these very two equations, from equation 1 and 2, have a look. We had been given AD upon DB is equal to AE upon EC. But while assuming, we have taken that AD upon DB is equal to AF upon FC. So when in equation 1, AE upon EC is equal to AD upon DB, and in equation 2, AF upon FC is equal to AD upon DB. As they both are equal to AD upon DB, it means they both will also be equal. So it implies to, we can say that AE upon EC is equal to AF upon FC. So let us consider it as equation number 3. Fine. Now children, I am going to add 1 on both the sides of equation number 3. So while adding 1, it would become AE upon EC plus 1 is equal to AF upon FC plus 1. Let us take EC as LCM. So I will be getting AE plus EC upon EC is equal to AF plus FC upon FC. It implies to what is this AE plus EC? This is complete AC. Have a look. AE plus EC. This is complete AC. In the same manner, AF plus FC. This is also complete AC. So here both are replaced by AC. So it would become AC upon EC is equal to AC upon FC. AC and AC are going to be cancelled. So while cross multiplying, I have got EC is equal to FC. So children, have a look in the diagram. Is EC equal to FC? No. So how they both can be equal? Only when this point F lies on point E, or point F coincide point E, or DF coinciding DE. Correct? So it means DF will become DE. And what did we assume DF? DF was that side which was parallel to BC. But if DF and DE both are equal, so we can say that DE is also parallel to BC. So hence proved. So what is written in the solution further? So we can say that point E and F coincide. Or we can say that DE coincide DF. Since DF is parallel to BC, it means DE will also be parallel to BC. Why? Because DF and DE both have become same now. Got it, children? So this was the converse. This was the proof of the converse of basic proportionality theorem. Now children, I am going to take few questions from exercise 6.2 in which the application of basic proportionality theorem as well as its converse is used. Okay. So what is the question? First question, first part. This is exercise 6.2 of NCERT. In figure 6.17, if DE, this DE is parallel to BC given. So we will have to calculate EC. Children, you just tell me. If DE is parallel to BC, then by BPT, what can we say? That AD upon DB must be equal to AE upon EC. So apply BPT and get the result. We will have to calculate the value EC. So as in triangle DE is parallel to BC, so by BPT we can say that this is smaller upon smaller, right? AD upon DB is equal to AE upon EC. Just insert the given values, that is 1.5 centimeter upon 3 centimeter is equal to 1 centimeter upon EC. So while cross multiplying, I have got 1.5 EC is equal to 3. So EC is equal to 3 upon 1.5. While removing its decimal, I have got 3 into 10 upon 15. So this is 30 upon 15. That is 15 ones are 15, 15 twos are 30. So what is the value of EC? EC is equal to 2 centimeter. Got it, children? Now let us switch to question number 2, third part. There is a triangle given PQR. Okay. EF are the points on the side PQ and PR. Fine. Respectively. Okay. What else is given? We will have to prove that EF is parallel to QR. Now, children, think in which case we proved that EF is parallel to QR. Correct. We proved it in which case it was the case of converse of BPT. So if we are capable to apply BPT, means if we just check the ratio of either PE upon PQ is equal to PF upon PR. Okay. Or PF upon FR, that depends on the dimensions whatever is given to us. Just have a look. What is given? First of all, let us check this. We will be having PE given 0.18. We don't have EQ. We have complete PQ given. Either you can calculate EQ while subtracting 0.18 centimeter from 1.28 centimeter. Then you can easily apply PE upon EQ. In the same manner, you can calculate here FR while subtracting PF from PR. So then you could apply PF upon FR. So if PE upon EQ, this smaller upon smaller, is equal to PF upon FR, then we can say by the converse of BPT that EF is parallel to QR. Correct? Children, suppose if I do not want to calculate this EQ as well as this FR while subtracting smaller side from the bigger one, I have one more alternate also for this. What is that? Correct. That is corollary of BPT. What did we do in that corollary? We took smaller part upon complete bigger part. Then smaller part upon complete bigger part. So I am going to apply corollary of BPT and then its converse as well. Okay. So if PE, this is PE upon PQ, complete bigger one, is equal to PF upon PR, if they both are equal, then of course this is the corollary. Then by the converse of corollary of BPT, I should write this corollary of BPT, we can say that EF is parallel to QR. So let us check it. PE, the dimensions whatever you will be having given, I am just going to insert those values over here. This is 0.18 upon the bigger side is 1.28, that is PQ, is equal to 0.36 upon 2.56. Children, one more thing I want to tell you. Whenever you will be having equal ratios given, you can interchange the places also. Fine. In that case, you can interchange the places also. For example, have a look. This is 1 upon 2 is equal to 2 upon 4. Here I know if I am going to cancel 2 and 4, I will be getting 1 upon 2 again. But for example, if I want to switch this 4 here and want to bring this 1 on this side, that can also be done. Let us check. This is 4 upon 2 is equal to 2 upon 1. Now cancel. So I will be getting 2 is equal to 2. The same strategy I am going to apply over here. Why? Because it would make the calculation easier. I have brought this 2.56 on left hand side at the numerator place, and this 1.28 will remain here only. Okay. And this 0.18 I have brought here on right hand side at denominator place. Why? Because I know to cancel 36 by 18 is quite simple. In the same manner, to cancel 256 by 128 is also very simple. Okay. So after changing the places, I know 128 ones are, 128 twos are. I will be getting 256 after removing the decimal. In the same manner, here also I have removed the decimal. So 18 ones are 18, 18 twos are 36. So 2 is equal to 2. Means the ratio of PE upon PQ is equal to PF upon PR. Though I am going to apply BPT corollary. Okay. The converse of BPT corollary I am going to apply. So it means, what can I say? That EF must be parallel to QR. So children, by converse of corollary of BPT, why I am saying corollary again and again? Because I will be having the dimensions given, one of shorter side and another one of the complete side. Okay. And I had applied directly that. So by the converse of corollary of BPT, we can say that EF is parallel to QR. So that's it for the day. Now children, this is the time to get mathematics homework. Please note down your maths homework. Revise both the taught theorems, theorem 6.1 and 6.2. This was basic proportionality theorem, known as Thales theorem also, and this was its converse. Okay. And do exercise 6.1. Children, in 6.1 exercise, objective type questions are there, and there are some filling the blanks also. You are supposed to do it in your homework notebook only. And you have to do question number first, second part, and first and second part of exercise 6.2 in your homework notebook along with classwork questions. Fine children? So that's it for the day. Please like the video and do not forget to subscribe our channel. Thank you and have a nice day.